What's going on, guys? Coming back at you again today. I want to give you a brief rundown on what to expect for the 2020 FLW Pro Circuit. So in this video, I'm going to run down the schedule, the format, the details, the payout, all that, just to clear up any confusion and just to give you guys an idea of what I'm fishing in 2020, what I expect in these events, and just a brief rundown of my entire season. So let's jump right into it. So I got all the rules, schedule, all the details printed out right here. So I'm going to go through them with you. We're going to start with the schedule. So first up, we got Sam Rayburn, January 23rd through the 26th. Now, this is roughly about the same time we were there in 2019. But in 2019, it was a record high lake level. So I got a feeling it's going to be a little bit different than that. But still looking forward to it. It's Sam Rayburn. There's giant bass in there. So you can expect to see some big bags of fish brought in anytime we're at Sam Rayburn. So that's going to be a fun event. Hopefully the weather plays decent for us. You know, the end of January, it could be pretty cold. So kind of at the mercy of Mother Nature on that one. But barring any crazy weather fronts coming through, it should be a pretty good event. Next, we got about 3 weeks off, 4 weeks off. We go to Harris Chain. That is February 20th through the 23rd. Believe the FLW Tour was on Harris Chain 2 years ago, 2018, my rookie year, right around the same time, right around mid-February. So again, that's one of those lakes that's a little bit different every time you go, based on how much the FWC has sprayed the grass, or the water clarity, or of course Mother Nature always plays a role in Florida events. So that one's kind of a wild card to me. I really don't know what to expect. It could be a sight fishing bonanza. Could be that offshore grass again like it was in 2018. It could be a little bit of both, a little bit in between. You never really know in Florida. But I like the Harris Chain. I really haven't had any success there yet, but I just like how it sets up. I usually have a pretty good day there, but I haven't been able to put a couple good days together. So looking forward to that puzzle and hopefully end up on the right side of them this year. After that, we got about another month off again. We head to Alabama, Lake Martin. This is a place I've never seen before. I really have never even looked at it on a map. So that's a little bit of a mystery to me, but I know there's spotted bass in there. I know there was a Elite Series event there last year, I believe. Takahiro Mori won, throwing a little square bill. So I'm not sure what to expect out of that one. March 19th through the 22nd. They got to be getting close to spawning down there in Alabama. Pretty sure that's southern Alabama, so that's got to be getting pretty warm there end of March. So it could be a sight fishing deal. We shall see about that one. After that, we head back to Lake Cherokee. That's April 2nd through the 5th. And of course, I had some pretty good success there in 2019. We were there about a week later in 2019. So that's going to, you know, that spawn was another week along. So that's why it was pretty strong. So this year being a year early, I really don't know what to expect. It could be a pre-spawn deal. Again, if the weather's nice, it could be a full-blown spawn deal again. My personal opinion, it's going to be a lot harder to figure out something this year. Last year, we'd never been there, and now it's exposed. So all that information is available online, and everybody's going to be trying to do the same thing. So I'm going to be trying to look for something a little bit different, get away from the crowd, and try and pattern those little bit bigger smallmouth. I'm hoping it's more of a pre-spawn deal, and That way it's a little bit different on everybody. Next event, we got Lake Hartwell, April 23rd through the 26th. I've been to Hartwell a couple times, just fun fishing. Never fished a tournament there, but it seems like a pretty cool lake. It's got a mixture of spotted and largemouth. I really like those types of lakes. I seem to do well on them all the time. And you got end of April is just honestly one of my favorite times of year to be fishing anywhere in the country. So looking forward to Lake Hartwell. After Hartwell, we got Lake Dardanelle, May 14th through the 17th, out in Arkansas, middle of May. I gotta think they'll be done spawning by then. It'll probably be more of a shad spawn deal, post spawn fish, moving out a little deeper, you know, maybe garden fry. It's iffy. I really don't know what goes on in that part of the country. I haven't done a whole lot of research on that. Actually, I haven't researched any of these lakes yet. That's coming in the next few weeks. You know, I just signed up, so gonna have to start doing some research here before the season kicks off and I get too busy. But Lake Dardanelle is a mystery to me. Just gonna have to see what happens. I'm up for a good challenge, so Dardanelle is gonna be the challenge. Out of the whole schedule this year, I think Dardanelle will be the most challenging for me to figure out, but sometimes it doesn't always work out that way. Lastly, the final regular season event of the year takes us to the Detroit River, June 27th through the 30th. Now this is a Saturday through Tuesday event. The reasoning behind that is bass season closes in Canada, Ontario, Canada, and half of Lake Erie, half of Lake St. Clair, actually probably more than half of Lake St. Clair is in Canadian waters. So if we started the event on Thursday, we would not be allowed to keep smallmouth in Canadian waters. So that would be a huge problem. That would eliminate a ton of water. So they're starting the event on Saturday. That'll allow us to be able to keep those fish and open up the whole body of water, the whole system for competition. If I was to pick one that I was looking forward the most, it'd be that Detroit River. You know, I have a lot of experience on Erie. I'm a smallmouth guy. I did well on St. Clair before. So that is one I am already looking forward to. The season hasn't even started and I'm already looking forward to the last event. Really looking forward to getting out there, catching some giant smallmouth. There's going to be some giant bags of smallmouth caught end of June. It's one of the best times to be there. So it's going to be some big, big brown fish. And it's going to really spread out. Launching in the Detroit River allows you to go to Erie, allows you to go to St. Clair, stay in the river. So there's a lot of options there. Going to be a ton of smallmouth caught. And I just really can't wait to get that one kicked off. Now, if you're fortunate enough after the 7 events to finish in the top 50, that's right, that's new for 2020, taking 50 in the Angler of the Year points to the FLW title, which is going to be our new championship. That's going to be August 8th through the 13th on the St. Lawrence River. I've caught a bass or two on the St. Lawrence River, but we're not going to get too excited. We got to catch them at the other 7 places before we can worry about the St. Lawrence. But the cool thing about the championship, it is going to be mirrored off the Bass Pro Tour, the Major League Fishing, catch, weigh, and immediate release format. So we're going to have 50 guys. We're going to split them in half, 25 fish one day, 25 fish the next day. Then same thing again, so you get 2 days of competition over 4 days, and then you take the top 10 from each group, move them on to the next day, day 5. Weights are zeroed again. Go out for day 5, the top 10 from that, move on. That's your top 10, championship day. Go out day 6. Day 6, go out fish for $200,000. That's pretty cool. I got to focus on these first 7 events and make that FLW title. Now get on to the payouts for the regular season events. It's pretty dang similar to 2019, except we're actually paying more places. So basically the top 10's the same. 11 through 20 gets 11,000. 21 through 30 gets 10,500. 31 through 50 gets $10,000. 51 through 60 gets $5,500. And 61 through 75 gets $5,000. So you finish in the top 50% of the field, you're getting $5,000. Pretty strong payback. Add up the total amount coming in versus the total amount coming out. It's going to be up there or better than any tour out there. I have no complaints on the payout. Absolutely no complaints. I love it. Finish in the top 50, you're making $10,000. I dig it. A-okay with me. Now, with the merger between MLF and FLW, the FLW Pro Circuit is now the gateway to the Bass Pro Tour, the highest level of bass fishing, no entry fees. So I'm taking this as a great opportunity to advance myself to the Bass Pro Tour in a few years. Now we're going to take 2020 and 2021 and combine our points, and the top 10 pros will be invited to the Bass Pro Tour. That's pretty exciting. Top 10 pros after the next 2 years will be invited to the Bass Pro Tour. So in a couple years, we could be going from paying $40,000 in entry fee to having 0 entry fee, fishing for just about the same money, and be at the highest level of the sport. I'm taking this as a great opportunity to advance myself to the Bass Pro Tour. I'm extremely excited about that. There's a path, there's a road to get there now, and that's where I see myself in the next few years. So I'm very excited about that, and I'm going to do everything I can, work as hard as I can, prepare as hard as I can, fish as hard as I can to get to that level, to represent myself, my sponsors, and just continue to make a living catching bass. One of the final things I'm extremely excited about for 2020 is the expanded TV coverage. There's going to be 312 hours of programming on the FLW Pro Circuit. That is unprecedented. The FLW Tour has never seen that type of reach before. So for potential sponsors, for building my brand, getting on television, this is an amazing opportunity. I just have to get out there and catch some bass and make sure I get in the top 10, top 5, get those live cameras, and be able to expose myself and continue to grow my brand, as well as represent the FLW Pro Circuit. Now, as far as the rules are pretty much identical. 2019, there's a few little tweaks, whatnot. We haven't really got that far. We're going to have an angler board once we get the completed roster. That's another thing I'm interested in seeing is the 2020 FLW Pro Circuit roster. You know, there's quite a few people who are leaving. They don't like what's going on, or they're just not interested in the Bass Pro Tour. And there's nothing wrong with that. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. If they don't like the Major League Fishing style, then that's absolutely fine with them. Me personally, I love it. I think it's changing the game. I think it's the future of the sport. And I see this as a great opportunity to get myself on that level. So all that should be released here shortly. Once we get into December, be able to see the roster, see who I'm fishing against, and get into tweaking some of the rules a little bit once we develop that angler board. You know, MLF is purely angler driven. So anything that us as the anglers don't like, we can bring it to a board and we can make those necessary changes. I really like that. Feel like we have our say and we'll be able to change any rules, any format, anything like that that we don't like. As long as the majority agrees with it, we're going to change it for the better. Thanks for watching this video, guys. I hope you're excited for 2020 just as much as I am. I can't wait to see how this all plays out, and I hope you guys will follow along, watch me along the whole way. This is going to be the first video of a pretty big series I'm going to do for the entire 2020 season. Now, this is just the overview, diving into what to expect. Now, I'm going to go through my preparation for each event, tackle, videos throughout my entire practice and tournament videos, as well as a nice recap. So all this information is going to be out there available for you guys. So hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss out on all that content coming. Leave me any likes and comments below, and we'll see you guys next time.